Chapter 31 Don't Eat Rats. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this time, a white shadow is flying fast, and the surrounding scenery is also changing crazily. It's so scary. That two-legged beast is really scary. Thinking of the shocking scene just now, the white-haired mouse couldn't help but feel palpitations and a fear deep in his soul. In its eyes, the patriarchs of the 6 tribes who were at the top of the food chain in the secret realm were killed so easily by the opponent. If I run away again, I'm afraid the end will be even worse. It's strange to say that my body was obviously injured before, but it didn't take long to heal. What's going on with this swelling? Is it because of eating that fruit? Oh, no matter what, if there is any delay, we have to avoid that two-legged beast. The white-haired rat hid here and there, its eyes darting around and its nose twitching slightly to sniff the surrounding smells. Suddenly, it felt something strange, and felt a familiar smell approaching quickly. Okay, that two-legged beast is here to catch me. The white-haired rat was so frightened that its fur was all over its body. It swung its limbs desperately and flew through the woods like a hurricane. Tearing ripples appeared in the void. Ye Junlin used the Great Void technique to cross the void and quickly approached the target. Tongzi, is that mouse in front? Ding, that's right, if the host works harder, he will be able to catch up with it soon. The system prompt sounds. This rat is really good at running. If I want to use my system, I guess it will really slip away. Ye Junlin found this white-haired rat that was sneaking away quite interesting, but suddenly he had a bad taste and wanted to catch it and tease it. It's over, why are you still chasing me? How does this two-legged beast know where Shu is hiding? The white-haired rat was going crazy inside. It felt that it was so unlucky that it just passed by and ate a fruit, which led to a series of life-threatening pursuits. Shu only wants to live a good life, why do you all want to harm Shu? The white-haired mouse felt very broken. Boom. There were strong fluctuations in the sky overhead, a huge pressure suddenly enveloped the white-haired rat, and the white-haired mouse felt like on its body. It was so pressed that it was difficult to move, and there was a suffocating feeling in the chest. Squeak. The white-haired rat struggled desperately, and finally its limbs were separated and suspended in the air. It turned out that the tail behind its butt was picked up by a big hand condensed with magic. Ye Junlin landed in front of it and looked at it with interest. The white-haired rat was stared at by the silver-haired young man and his back felt cold, thinking that the two-legged beast was definitely going to eat him. Suddenly, the white-haired rat was so anxious that he quickly begged for mercy. The meat of rat tastes sour and very, very unpalatable. Please let rat go. Your meat is sour. Ye Junlin raised his eyebrows. Really, please believe Shu. Shu's meat tastes very bad. If you eat it, you will fart all the time. The white-haired mouse said excitedly, thinking it was an opportunity. Ye Junlin rubbed his chin and showed an evil smile. Jijia, hearing you say that makes me want to try it even more. Approached, his expression extremely ferocious. Squeak. The white-haired rat's eyes widened, and finally its pupils gradually dilated, its head tilted, and it fainted, with foam flowing out of its mouth. Did you faint from fright? Ye Junlin was dumbfounded and poked its face gently with his finger. He found that there was no reaction and his expression became very strange. According to the system, this white-haired rat possesses the great Luo immortal physique, the strongest type among all the immortal physiques. Who would have thought that he would be so timid? It's really scary. Forget it, just keep it as a pet rat. Ye Junlin picked up the tail of the white-haired rat and casually threw it next to the giant. Half an hour later, the white-haired rat twitched its nose slightly and woke up unsteadily. It smells so good. The scent wafting in the air made the white-haired mouse wake up instantly. Is Shu not dead yet? The white-haired rat poked its head and looked around curiously. Suddenly, it froze in its tracks. Far away, there sat a handsome young man in a black robe embroidered with gold, with long silver-white hair hanging down, and each hair strand glowed with snow-white light. At this time, is skillfully turning over the fire to grill the meat. The meat is roasted until it is golden and crispy, giving off bursts of mouth-watering meat aroma. There is a big pot next to it, and something is cooking in the pot, which is delicious. Could it be? The white-haired rat lowered its head in fright, and groped with its two little hands all over its body. After confirming that the meat came from its body, it breathed a sigh of relief, seeing that the other party was still concentrating on the barbecue. The white-haired mouse suddenly had the idea of escape in his mind. It tiptoed, just thinking about getting away. "Come here, don't let me catch you again." A calm voice came softly, although the sound was loud. It was like thunder from the sky in the ears of the white-haired rat. "Senior." The white-haired rat slowly came to Ye Junlin's side in fear. Suddenly, his eyes quietly shifted to the flesh, saliva flowed from the corners of his mouth, and his stomach growled. Ye Junlin glanced angrily. "Look at your potential, come on, I'll give you this." Throwing a piece of roasted crispy meat over, the white-haired rat quickly caught it with both hands and immediately gobbled it up without thinking. Crispy and numb, tender and juicy, the white-haired rat's eyes were filled with little stars, and his heart instantly felt filled with happiness. The tail behind his buttocks was so high that it almost reached the sky. "What kind of meat is this? I've never eaten it before," Ye Junlin said quietly. "Rat meat." White-haired rat. Looking at the shocked white-haired rat, Ye Junlin laughed loudly and flicked its forehead. "Fool, this is rabbit meat." "It turns out it's rabbit meat." The white-haired rat licked his lips. "The rabbit is so pitiful, but the rabbit is delicious." What was it thinking about? It tentatively said, "Senior, are you really good at eating rats?" White-haired Shu still has doubts about Ye Junlin's motives. Ye Junlin said with a smile, "Why should I eat you? If I really wanted to benefit you, you would have been lying in the pot cooking by now." Stretched out his hand and pointed at the crispy meat rolling and steaming on the water in the big pot. "See it?" The white-haired rat swallowed, and his heart dropped. "Senior, Shu believes in you." Yes, how about another bite of meat for Shu? Hear the words. Ye Junlin smiled and said, "Yes, but the condition is that you want to be my apprentice." "Are you willing?" The white-haired rat was stunned. "Accept him as his apprentice?" This is even more surprising than eating it. "Senior, would it be dangerous to be your apprentice?" The white-haired rat was a little embarrassed. "It just wants to stay in the forest and live a carefree life." Ye Junlin coughed a few times and said seriously, "Be my apprentice and you can eat delicious food as you like. If there is danger, I will be my teacher and stand up for you. Are you sure you want this kind of good thing?" Hearing these words, the white-haired mouse was heartbroken. Yes. Shu wants to be Senior's apprentice. It raised its little hand and said excitedly. "Then why don't you meet the master quickly?" Ye Junlin looked solemn. "Disciple Bai Xiaoxi, pay your respects to master." The white-haired rat prostrated himself like a human and said excitedly. "Well, get up." Ye Junlin nodded with satisfaction. At this time, the system prompt sounded in my mind. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the task of recruiting a disciple. The reward, window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 32 The Secret Realm Collapses. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding, congratulations to the host for completing the task of recruiting a disciple, and will be rewarded with the supreme magical power, the 5-pole reincarnation Great Destruction Technique. 5-pole reincarnation Great Destruction Technique. Nothing is indestructible, and it can cause extremely large-scale covering damage. Another killing move, wide. Ye Junlin nodded. Isn't it true that having too many skills is too much for one's body? The system beep continues to sound. Ding, the apprentice's qualifications have been detected, and this system comes with a copy of the Great Luo Tao Sutra. Ding, all the rewards this time have been distributed. I hope the host and the apprentice get along well. Never abuse animals. Ye Junlin said angrily. Tongzi, you are so careless. How could I do such a thing with my noble character? System. Master, are you talking to Shu? Bai Zai raised her head and asked doubtfully. Ye Junlin touched his nose and said, Ahem, I will teach you a skill now. You must cherish it and practice hard to become a good master, oh no, a good apprentice. Stretch out your hand and tap lightly, a ball of light disappears into the sea, boom. Bai Xiaoxi's eyes widened, and her whole body seemed to have been struck by lightning. This Daoyuo Tao Sutra is all-encompassing and mysterious, giving it a feeling of enlightenment, and it will no longer be muddled. Only then did Bai Xi realize that he had received a great blessing. Thank you, Master, for giving me the Dharma to Shu. Bai Xi bowed down excitedly, this time far more sincerely than before. The meat is cooked. Eat it quickly. Ye Junlin smiled and spooned a bowl of broth to the white-haired rat. Aha! Bai Xi reached out to catch it, sniffed it, and couldn't wait to taste it. Delicious. After finishing the drink, Bai Xi felt warm all over, with a satisfied smile on her lips. It is used to being alone in the forest, and there are many dangers here. It rarely has such a comfortable and relaxing moment. Master is so kind to Shu. It's so lucky to be Master's disciple. Later Shu must repay Master well. Bai Xi secretly swore. Suddenly, there was a shaking sound throughout the Luotian secret realm. The extremely unreal blue sky above our heads was fragmented to the naked eye. What's going on? Ye Junlin stood up in shock. Ding, it has been detected that the life of the Daoyuo immortal tree has come to an end, and it is unable to maintain the operation of the secret realm. Now the secret realm is collapsing. Please leave the host as soon as possible. Master, Shu feels so sad. Bai Xi was also startled. The strange thing was that it didn't feel panic, but felt very sad inside, and its eyes turned red and shed 2 lines of tears. Ye Junlin frowned, feeling that Bai Xi's behavior was a bit abnormal, but the urgent need to delay is to get out as soon as possible. Let's go. Whoa, Ye Junlin took it to tear through the void and hurried towards the exit of the secret realm. The scenery changes rapidly along the way, and you can see collapsed mountains and rivers, and rows of fallen towering trees. The sky was violently torn apart, and the sky was like a shattered mirror. This ancient secret realm that had lasted for who knows how many years finally came to an end today. Roar! In all directions, there were howls of ferocious beasts one after another. There is no doubt that the indigenous people here have been hardest hit. Retreat! Retreat quickly! Countless monks fled toward the exit in panic. It was densely packed and the scene was very spectacular. Sect Master, I didn't expect such a thing to happen here. The Master of Hidden Sword Peak looked ugly. Xuanhuan said in a deep voice, what we have to do is to escort the Xiantian sect disciples to escape as soon as possible to ensure that the number of casualties is reduced to a minimum. Where's Junior Brother Yi? The Master of Tianxiang Peak said worriedly. As soon as he finished speaking, Ye Junlin appeared using the Great Void technique and said seriously, everyone, the situation is critical, let's leave quickly. Junior Brother Yi. Everyone was in high spirits. Hey, what a big rat. The Master of Hidden Sword Peak said in surprise, I saw a white-haired rat being held in Ye Junlin's hand, with red eyes and a lost look. This is my new apprentice. Ye Junlin introduced. Apprentice? Everyone was surprised. When did Junior Brother Yi become so outrageous? The previous apprentice, although not very good-tempered, was as beautiful as a fairy and had extraordinary talents. Now this white-haired rat is ordinary and stupid. How can he be valued and accepted as an apprentice? Okay, let's go quickly. Xuanhuan suppressed the confusion in his heart and said in a deep voice, at this time, a large number of monks from the wilderness evacuated quickly, including the aborigines of the secret realm. With their instinct to escape, they also rushed towards the exit under the guidance of their elders. Rumble, the sky collapsed, as if the end was coming. After successfully breaking out of the secret realm, the monks who had a chance to escape were in shock. Evil, what a bad luck. Hong Yi was very eye-catching in his red clothes. He was floating in the air with his arms folded, feeling very unhappy inside. Fortunately, some of the rare natural treasures were collected in time, which was enough for him to break into the fusion realm later, which can be regarded as a gain. In the team, among them, Ouyang Foam was high-spirited. He found an opportunity and gained a lot from it. He suddenly felt that he was capable again. Thanks to God's blessing, I am destined to skyrocket to 90,000 miles. Ouyang Feng stroked his beard and said with emotion, his face flushed. At this time, he saw the red figure, and remembered the other party's strong and murderous posture before, and suddenly felt a sense of being conquered by the charm, resisting the heat in his heart. Ouyang Feng took out a comb made of ancient spiritual wood from his arms and combed his hair carefully. Then, he pretended to be calm and greeted him, and bowed his hands respectfully and said, "This senior, I am the ancestor of the Moving Mountain sect, Ouyang. Get lost." Hong Yi said coldly, now his temper is good. If it was the time when he was in the central region, he would kill anyone with ulterior motives who came to get close to him without hesitation. Ouyang Feng was embarrassed and had to leave in a huff. Swish swish swish. In the secret realm, a group of figures appeared. Ye Tianjun is out. Ye Tianjun, the shout started. Hong Yi tactfully flashed in front of him and said, "Master." Ye Junlin nodded, picked up Bai Zai and threw him over. "This is my new disciple. You must love each other in the future, understand?" "What?" Looking at the white-haired rat in front of him, Hong Yi's eyes flashed with astonishment, and he felt an instinctive rejection in his heart, but due to the occasion, Hong Yi had to bite the bullet and said, "Yes, master." "Where is Shu Shu?" Bai Zai opened his eyes wide and looked around the environment in front of him. In addition to feeling novelty, he also felt a little panic. Then he thought of something, turned around and looked at the secret realm, and said sadly, "Shu Shu's home is gone." Boom! At this moment, many strange creatures emerged in the secret realm, and the powerful momentum swept like a storm, causing the faces of the Huangzhou monks present to change. According to ancient rumors, is this the outer world of the secret realm? A creature with horns on his head said in a muffled voice. "Why is the spiritual energy here so thin?" A snake creature said with disdain. "Well, since we have come to a new environment, we must learn to adapt." Another powerful creature said, "I suggest that we occupy this area first and then redivide the land." Are these two-legged beasts the human race in the records? It seems that their cultivation is so weak. Then let's enslave them first. The aborigines who escaped from the Luotian secret realm erupted their primitive wildness after coming to the outer world. They stared at us with eager eyes, and their hearts were ready to move. "Oh no, they are going to attack us." Ouyang Feng was terrified. In the Kunlun realm, there are thousands of races and creatures. Those who thrive and survive in the Luotian secret realm all have the blood of ancient species, coupled with the natural environment of the secret realm suitable for cultivation. A group of powerful alien creatures have been created. For example, now, Ouyang Feng clearly feels that there are more than 10 people in this team who have the aura of transformation, and more than 60 people in the fusion realm. In addition, there are countless infants and golden elixirs. If this group of alien creatures gather together, they can be on par with the top 10 cultivation forces in the East. "Don't be afraid, everyone, we have Ye Tianjun." Someone shouted, "Swish, swish, swish." Countless fanatical eyes gathered on the silver-haired young man. After all, only Ye Junlin has reached the fusion realm here, and his invincible posture that showed his divine power before was obvious to all. Can this guy handle it? As the thought turned, Hong Yi glanced at Ye Junlin from the corner of his eyes, and saw Ye Junlin with his hands behind his back. His face was calm, as if everything was under control. "It seems that there is no problem." At this time, Ye Junlin seemed as steady as an old dog, but his psychological activities were extremely rich. Fuck. 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 What's going on? There is less than 10% of the mana left in my body now. Why are you guys making trouble at this time? Ye Junlin didn't expect that there would be such a big crisis waiting for him. Ding, trigger a new task. Let 100,000 natives of Luotian's secret realm join Xiantian's sect, and the host will get the desired reward. The system prompt sounded. Ye Junlin was startled and was so angry that he wanted to vomit blood on the spot. "Tongzi, do you think this is realistic?" "Ye Tianjun? Who is Ye Tianjun?" A powerful creature with silver wings on his back roared. "Him." Countless people pointed at Ye Junlin in unison. Ye Junlin. Chapter 33, 100,000 indigenous people surrendered. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You are the Ye Tianjun you mentioned. The best fighter here. The silver-winged creature said with a bad face, boom. Ye Junlin said nothing, took a step forward, and released the perfect cultivation of the fusion realm. There is no doubt that this group of aliens was really scared. After all, the perfect fusion realm is already the ceiling of the Luo Tian's secret realm. What are you afraid of? There is only one, that the creature in the fusion realm shouted. That's right, more than a dozen creatures in the fusion realm walked out, and the pressure they released together was overwhelming. Oh my god, countless people were so scared that they knelt on the ground and trembled, and Ye Junlin, who was in the center of the storm, twitched a few times at the corner of his mouth. Well, this trick doesn't work, but it was not surprising that, seeing a powerful person who had reached the perfect stage of the fusion realm, these alien creatures restrained themselves a little. In any case, they were still quite afraid, but if it dragged on like this, something would happen sooner or later. Just when Ye Junlin was having a headache, Bai Xiaoxi's body suddenly changed, boom. A vast and ancient sacred aura burst out from its body, and its ruby-like eyes turned into a brilliant golden color. An ancient mark appeared on its forehead, and the mark released a terrifying energy fluctuation. Xiaoxi, you, Ye Junlin was stunned. How can this raven? Hong Qianye's face changed drastically. In an instant, in the countless stunned eyes, the figure of the white-haired rat floated in the air, and its whole body seemed to be shrouded in a golden sun. This is the breath of the Daluo immortal tree. The aliens gradually reacted, their eyes were filled with deep awe. You know, the most untouchable thing in Luo Tian's secret realm is the Daluo immortal tree that maintains the entire secret realm. In the hearts of all creatures, this is equivalent to God. I thought the entire secret realm was heading for collapse, and the Daluo immortal tree was also doomed. Unexpectedly, I felt that familiar and close breath again on a white-haired mouse. It's like a baby in a cradle, returning to the arms of its mother. Woo, the Daluo immortal tree didn't abandon us. Please ask the Daluo immortal tree to guide your people. How should the future go? Please ask the immortal tree to protect you. Shouts came one after another, hundreds of thousands of alien creatures knelt down to worship, even the big guys in the fusion realm were no exception, all knelt down at Bai Xiaoxi's feet. They were very excited, with tears in their eyes. The youngsters were shocked, almost suspecting that they were hallucinating. The new disciple that junior brother Yi accepted this time was so powerful. Even the knowledgeable Hong Qianye was shocked by this scene, and now he realized that this white-haired mouse had a great opportunity. Glancing at the calm Ye Junlin, Hong Qianye said in his heart, sure enough, everything is in your plan. I know you are not that simple. At this time, Ye Junlin was shocked, thinking of the abnormality he noticed before. All kinds of guesses in his heart immediately increased. Could it be that the Daluo immortal fruit produced by the Daluo immortal tree is essentially another stage of its resurrection, and after Bai Xiaoxi ate it, a Daluo immortal body was born in her body, and she also had some of its remaining will. Now that the will of the Daluo immortal tree has revived, will it replace the control of Bai Xiaoxi's body? Ye Junlin frowned. To be honest, this white-haired rat is quite likable. If his apprentice is replaced by a new will, then the attitude should be another matter. Xiaoxi, are you okay? Answer quickly. Ye Junlin said anxiously. In secret, Bai Xiaoxi, who was suspended in the air, had cold eyes, but when this voice transmission broke into his mind, it stimulated a violent fluctuation of his spirit. Master is calling Shu Shu can't sleep. Bai Xiaoxi's eyes struggled, and his body shook like a sieve. Finally, its eyes gradually became smart, and its brain returned to its original state of mind. Master, Bai Xiaoxi fell beside Ye Junlin obediently, and bowed to him in a polite manner. I'm glad you're okay. A trace of relief flashed in Ye Junlin's eyes, and he reached out and gently touched its head. What? The Daluo immortal tree actually worshipped that tribe as its master. 100,000 aborigines were stunned, and their worldview was violently impacted. After noticing this change, Ye Junlin came up with a plan and secretly sent a message to Bai Xiaoxi. Xiaoxi, do what the master says now. Bai Xiaoxi seemed to understand. After a while, Bai Xiaoxi coughed a few times and said to the various alien races in a deep voice. The collapse of the secret realm this time is caused by the way of heaven, but don't panic, you are all my people, I will never give up on you. Hearing this, the alien races were very excited, as if they had found their backbone. At this time, Ye Junlin said lightly, God is kind to life, so in this case, let your people join the Xiantian sect and accept protection. Bai Xiaoxi bowed, thank you, master. Xian Shu, you. The silver-winged creature was stunned, and had never expected the direction of the situation. Are you questioning me? Bai Xiaoxi carried his hands on his back, and stared at the other party with his golden eyes coldly. The originally arrogant silver-winged creature immediately lowered his head in fear as if ice water was poured on his head. I dare not. The other alien races also fell silent, because after living in the Luotian's secret realm for so long, their submission to the Daluo immortal tree was engraved in their bones. In their view, even the Daluo immortal tree, which they regarded as the gods, was willing to obey their orders, and they were just ordinary people, so there was no need to question it. The crisis of this ride was strangled in the cradle in time. Ding. Congratulations to the host for completing the task, and the reward. Sundial is issued. Sundial, open the cultivation space. 100 years inside is equivalent to 1 day in the outside world. The system prompt sounded in his mind. Ye Junlin's eyes flashed, and he said in his heart, success. This time, it was really thanks to the apprentice he accepted. I really didn't expect that it would play such a big role at the critical moment. As for the reward issued, Ye Junlin was not particularly surprised, because looking at the description of the function of the sundial, at best it was a cultivation room with a time difference. At first glance, it looks awesome. If you practice in seclusion for 100 years, only 1 day will pass in the outside world. But for someone like you who is strong when facing a strong opponent, this thing is actually useless. Since you have traveled to this world, you should enjoy life. Without the help of the system, you can just lie down and rely on touching to improve your realm. Why should you stay in the sundial and practice bitterly? But, just because you don't need it doesn't mean that others don't need it. Ye Junlin thought that the sundial could be used by the people around him. Anyway, his realm will always be higher than others. Are you dreaming? These powerful creatures are going to join Xiantian sect. Sect Master Sun Yan was almost knocked unconscious by happiness. His excited eyes were shaking and tears were in his eyes. There are thousands of people who have reached the stage of transformation of spirits, and more than a dozen people who have reached the stage of fusion. The rest are like forests of nascent souls and rain of golden pills. Such a huge scale of power, will all be incorporated into Xiantian sect today. Master, from now on, our Xiantian sect will be one of the 10 major immortal sects in the East region, that the Peak Master said excitedly. The disciples of Xiantian sect were ecstatic, which meant that the sect would be extremely prosperous. Is this possible? Ouyang Feng was stunned and shocked by the sudden increase in the overall strength of Xiantian sect. Too strong. I know that Ye Tianjun can solve the crisis. That a group of cultivators in Huangzhou admired him. Even the strong men of other races obeyed his orders, but he was also a disciple of Ye Tianjun. This is unacceptable. Master, Shu Shu did it, and they really listened to Shu Shu's words. Bai Xiaoxi secretly transmitted the message. Well done, I am very satisfied. Ye Junlin asked, speaking of the will of the Daluo immortal tree, will it have any effect on you now? Bai Xiaoxi said, no. After Shu Shu woke up, it didn't move anymore. Is that so? Ye Junlin nodded. It seems that inheriting part of the will of the Daluo immortal tree is not a bad thing for his disciple, at least it will have certain constraints on this group of aliens. Next, everyone went home one after another to digest what happened today, and Xiantian sect was busy settling this group of aliens. Qingzhou, the golden flying boat rushed into the Yuhua gate. The depressed Chen Shao was helped out by his disciples, which attracted the surprised eyes of many disciples of the sect. In their impression, this new saint was full of vigor and vitality, like a rising sun. How come he was so depressed and listless after going to the wasteland state? Saint Yu. The elder of the law enforcement hall stepped forward quickly. He noticed that several important faces were missing from the team, and his heart skipped a beat, and an incredible thought flashed through his mind. I want to see Master. Chen Shao said with pale lips. Saint, Venerable Jiang is in retreat. The elder of the law enforcement hall said cautiously, may I ask what happened to Saint? Where are Elder Yen and other fellow disciples? Chen Shao smiled miserably and did not respond. The people around him cried out in grief, die. All of them are dead. What? Not only the elder of the law enforcement hall was shocked, but also the Yuhua sect monks nearby changed their faces. That was 9 inner sect elders, all strong men in the fusion realm, such a powerful scale, but they were all buried in a small wasteland state. Saint, who is the one who did it? Tell me quickly, so that I can report this to the sect, that the elder of the law enforcement hall said anxiously. Chen Shao raised his head, his eyes were bloodshot, his face was distorted, and he gritted his teeth and said. Xian Tian sect. Ye Junlin. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300 by 250, target type, mix. Chapter 34, Become Famous. You are listening at novelfull.audio. When this matter was reported to the sect, the interior of Yuhua sect exploded. How is this possible? Even Elder Yen and the others were killed by their enemies. Damn it! If you dare to kill the elder of the Yuhua sect, even the Holy Sun almost fell. You don't take us seriously at all. Declare war. War must be declared openly. Bloodbath the backward barbarian land. Uproot the sect involved. The roars came one after another, and the terrifying murderous intent rose into the sky, crazily stirring up the wind and clouds in the vast sky. This immortal gate that has stood for endless years and has been worshipped by countless monks in the eastern region. At this moment, earth-shattering aura fluctuations erupted. The creatures in Qingzhou were as silent as cicadas, and they all cast frightened looks, at the same time. This news swept across like a storm, causing great shock in other states in the eastern region. After all, there were as many outside monks at the scene as stars. After returning home, they would naturally pass on what they saw and heard. Sell newspapers. Sell newspapers. The latest breaking news in the eastern region cultivation world is out. One serving only requires 2 low-grade spiritual crystals. Give me one. Me too. In major restaurants and teahouses, many people looked at the cultivation world daily in their hands, their eyes almost falling out of their sockets, and they murmured, this. The title is extremely eye-catching. Shock. The Holy Son of Yuhua sect was defeated by a mysterious woman in red. The Yuhua sect lost 9 strong men in the fusion realm, and the murderer was the master of Piamiao Peak from Xiantian sect. Exposed. Xiantian sect is an ancient immortal sect hidden in Huangzhou. Breaking news, the Yuhua sect has officially declared war on the Xiantian sect. Obviously, this incident has had a great impact, and has recently become a hot topic among the monks in the eastern region. It used to have the weakest sense of existence and was relegated to a remote and desolate state. It officially gained its reputation because of the Xiantian sect. As for Xiantian sect, its status in the eastern region has also increased. As for Ye Junlin, the leader of Piamiao Peak, he has become the center of attention. This feeling is equivalent to a pond full of shrimps, and suddenly a true dragon flying in the 9 heavens emerges. Shocked. My dear, the world has changed. I no longer dare to laugh at the people of Huangzhou as country bumpkins. They even dare to kill the strong men of the Yuhua sect. The Xiantian sect has a few tricks up its sleeve, but it's against the Yuhua sect. I don't think there is any suspense in this battle. Yes, that is the top level of cultivation power. In a distant period, a true immortal was born in the immortal Holy Land. Its background is extremely terrifying. Various sects, dynasties, aristocratic families, or private cultivators all agree that the Xiantian sect will die, and that guy named Ye Junlin will definitely end up very miserable. In the 10 states of the Eastern Territory, no one can withstand the anger from the Yuhua sect. Florida, hanging temple, a group of core monks sat cross-legged and put their hands together. Their aura is ethereal, carrying the Zen spirit of great perfection and freedom. Umitba, since the Yuhua sect has declared war, I, the Xiankong temple, will also punish the evil and promote the good, and let the Xiantian sect pay the blood debt. My Buddha is compassionate. Soon, Xiankong temple also announced the news. They directly declared that the Xiantian sect was a heretic and crooked way, and at the same time labeled Ye Junlin a white-haired devil, and claimed that they were going to crusade with lofty ideals. As the top meditation power in Florida, the call is self-evident. Many Zen practitioners are filled with indignation and are ready to slay demons and achieve enlightenment. The eastern region was filled with strong fighting spirit, and countless monks were frightened to death. They are about to witness with their own eyes a large-scale war that is rare for hundreds of thousands of people. Barren state, since the Luotian secret realm was shattered, highly concentrated spiritual energy has leaked out crazily. As the saying goes, everything comes into being when a whale falls. This originally barren state began to glow with vitality. Many living beings have benefited from this, and their cultivation has improved by leaps and bounds. After all, the spiritual energy of the heaven and earth in the former Huangzhou is thin, which leads to the generally low level of cultivators here. Those who can cultivate to the golden elixir are few and far between, and those who have reached nascent soul are even rarer. But in the future, this phenomenon will change dramatically. Xiantian sect, since 100,000 foreign creatures were incorporated into the sect, the overall physical strength has skyrocketed, and one person has gone from being malnourished to being fat. However, after learning the news from the outside world, the senior officials of Xiantian sect were all gloomy. This move is putting them on the fire. In a few days, the Yuhua sect will be calling, and those old bald donkeys from the Xiankong temple will actually define us as evil spirits and crooked people. It's really deplorable. It's strange. I haven't seen the sect leader and other peak masters for several days. Where have they been? It is said that they are practicing in seclusion. Hey, Master Yi Feng is so strong and still practices so hard. This is all for our Xiantian sect. We, the Xiantian sect, are so lucky to have Master Yi here. Many people sighed. Misty Peak, there is a young man in black robe sitting lazily on a reclining chair. His long silver-white hair is scattered around his waist, and his eyes are covered by sunglasses. He has an unusual sense of modernity combined with ancient times. At this time, he closed his eyes and rested, quietly enjoying the sunbath. On the workbench at the back, a 1.5-meter-tall white-haired rat was tinkering with something excitedly. After finishing it, it leaned over and sniffed, showing a satisfied smile. Master, the rat is done. Your supreme invincible bobo milk tea is finally ready. Bai Xiaoxi held the milk tea in her hand and ran over excitedly. Ye Junlin's expression moved. Quick, put the straw in. Here. Bai Xiaoxi put the straw in and handed it over. Ye Junlin sucked the milk tea and exclaimed, fantastic. This is the taste. Recently, I completed the system's daily sign-in task and got a milk tea making encyclopedia. There are 99,999 recipes for different types of milk tea alone. This was in the previous life, and it was definitely a highly confidential business secret. You can create a world-class milk tea shop brand in Zhong, and even the Snow King has to hand you a cigarette when he comes, and you are willing to be your younger brother. Ye Junlin was so happy that he asked his second disciple Bai Xiaoxi to practice it. Bai Xiaoxi thought it was very novel, prepared the recipe and materials, and started to tinker with it according to the steps, and finally made a finished product of authentic milk tea. Look, this supreme invincible bobo milk tea is one of the more difficult types. Slurp. Ye Junlin continued to suck the milk tea. Xiaoxi, do a good job. The master allows you to make another 50 cups of new products, but this time you can choose any cup to reward yourself. Really? Shoo, thanks the master. Bai Xiaoxi was very excited and ran to make milk tea. TSK. Seeing this scene, Hong Qianye secretly despised it in his heart. This mouse is too stupid, and he will count the money when he is sold one day. Xiao Hong, look at how motivated Xiaoxi is. You're not even as good as a mouse. Ye Junlin shouted, where's my spicy squid skewers? Why aren't they ready yet? Hong Qianye's eyes flashed with a hint of displeasure, which was then replaced by a smile. Master. I'll bring it to you right away. Then, carrying a whole plate of spicy squid skewers, Hong Qianye came to Ye Junlin and half knelt on the ground. Master, please enjoy. Ye Junlin slowly picked up a skewer, put it in his mouth and started eating, making a smacking sound. Looking at his eating manner, Hong Qianye was secretly complaining, but his face still kept a smile. Master, are you satisfied with the heat? Does the spiciness need to be adjusted? Ye Junlin said calmly, keep it up. Yes, Master. Hong Qianye thought of something and continued to tentatively say, Master, can you give me the qualification to practice in the sundial? I really want to improve. This is his 5th time. Ever since he learned about the powerful functions of the sundial, he and the sect master went to the inner space of the sundial to practice. The thoughts in his mind were like weeds, and he was eager to go in and improve his cultivation. However, the other party repeatedly rejected his request. Hong Qianye was so angry that he went crazy. If it wasn't for the reason that he couldn't beat him, Hong Qianye would definitely tear his face and snatch it. Unfortunately, it can only exist in fantasy at present. He still continued to endure humiliation and grow in a wretched way. Facing the humble request of the chief disciple, Ye Junlin slurped his milk tea and said unhappily, look, so impatient. Chapter 35, Bai Xiaoxi's Human Form. It's an eyesore. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Master, I want to become stronger so that I can protect the sect. Hong Qianye said. It's okay, the sect has me. Then I will become stronger and worry about Master. You can pull him down. Hong Qianye finally figured it out, and she was doing this on purpose. She would rather let those mediocre people in than give him a chance. Damn it, I think you are afraid that my cultivation level will surpass yours, Hong Qianye said secretly annoyed. Master, since senior brother Hong wants to go so much, just let him go and leave his job to Shu Shu. Suddenly, Bai Xiaoxi's childish voice came. Ye Junlin sighed, Master, I'm afraid you'll be too busy to come over. It's okay, just leave this to Shu Shu. Think about it. Ye Junlin coughed a few times and said, okay then, I will allow you to practice at sundial. The capacity of the sundial is extremely limited, and opening it once consumes a lot of resources. It is not without any restrictions. The most important thing is that he wants to give up such free labor. But since Bai Xiaoxi was qualified, Ye Junlin agreed. Thank you Master. Hong Qianye was happy in her heart. Why are you thanking me? It's your junior brother you want to thank. Ye Junlin reminded. Hong Qianye stood up, cupped her hands towards Bai Xiaoxi and said, thank you, junior brother, for interceding for me. Hey. Bai Xiaoxi scratched her cheek with her fingers, feeling a little embarrassed. Then, Hong Qianye turned and left. There was a sneer on the corner of his mouth, and there was a strong ambition in his chest. Just wait, the day when I come out of seclusion will be when you, Ye Junlin, bow your head. Looking at Hong Qianye's leaving figure, Ye Junlin shook his head, not worried at all. Of course Ye Junlin knew what the leader of the demon cult was thinking. He just wants to become stronger urgently, and then perform the drama of becoming a serf and singing. It's a pity that when he encounters strength, he becomes stronger. Not worried at all. Shu Shu has finally made 5 cups of new products. Which one should you choose to treat yourself to? Let's take this cup of burning jelly. Bai Xiaoxi picked up a cup of milk tea, inserted a straw into it, and drank it, with a look of satisfaction on her face. Xiaoxi, come here and let me touch you. Okay. The 1.5 meter tall white-haired rat took the initiative to move closer. Ye Junlin felt the furry touch and couldn't help but sigh. Others are just petting cats, but here I am petting rats. Cat? Where is the cat? Rats are most afraid of cats. Bai Xiaoxi looked around in shock, looking funny. Ye Junlin couldn't help but laugh. This Daoyuo immortal body of yours is really a waste, and you have so many hands. Why are you afraid of cats? Possessing the strongest immortal body in the world, and having the loyalty of tens of thousands of powerful foreigners. If this condition is applied to any one of them, it will directly open the way to an invincible struggle for hegemony. Zhu Shu is just afraid. Bai Xiaoxi scratched his head, Ye Junlin rubbed his chin, why did you go to Sundial to practice? It's been 100 years inside, but only one day has passed outside, Bai Xiaoxi said, Shu Shu, even if only one day has passed outside, Shu Shu will not see the master for 100 years inside, and Shu Shu will be sad. Besides, training is really boring. Shu Shu likes to eat delicious food with master. Hear this, Ye Junlin laughed, this white-haired rat really suits his temperament. Like that evil leader of the demon cult, who is always thinking about replacing him all day long. Right, Ye Junlin suddenly thought of something, does it mean that the demon clan can transform into gods after they have practiced it? Why have I never seen you transform into a human being? Although he is Hu, means curious. Ye Junlin still wanted to see what this silly white-haired rat looked like after it transformed. Bai Xiaoxi was stunned, because Shu Shu forgot. It has always maintained the image of the original body, and its realm has improved too quickly, and its thoughts have not had time to change, so it has not been formed yet. Then change now. Ye Junlin smiled bitterly, he was indeed a stupid rat. Good, Bai Xiaoxi obediently obeyed, a milky white light burst out from its body. In the shroud of this light, a petite figure in a white skirt with suspenders gradually appeared. Ye Junlin just took a sip of milk tea. After seeing the appearance clearly, he couldn't help but spit out the milk tea. His expression was stunned and he exclaimed, what is this horse-riding thing? She has a petite and exquisite soft body, her skin is as smooth and white as milk, her two slender legs are straight, her whole body exudes a youthful and lively atmosphere, and she has a standard petite Lolita figure. If you put it aside, at least it will be life-threatening, or at worst it will be death. But now, Ye Junlin felt very uncomfortable in his heart. I saw this petite and exquisite lowly figure, with a rat head on her neck, round eyes, and a nervous and childish voice coming out of her mouth. Does rat look good, Ye Junlin? More than just good-looking. This is too scary. Such a perfect lowly body, but there is a rat head on the neck, even if you can tell, it's female. But according to the aesthetics of the genre, this is simply weird. Xiaoxi, are you trying to be a teacher on purpose? Ye Junlin said depressedly. Absolutely not. Shu Shu has changed a lot. Bai Xiaoxi waved her hands quickly, then, it lowered its head in disappointment, but I don't know why it can only stay like this. Shu Shu feels very wronged. Ye Junlin's mouth twitched a few times. It seems that this cheap apprentice is really lacking in brains, you can't have too much expectation on it. No, it's okay, then you change back. Ye Junlin rubbed his sore eyebrows, it's better to keep the original body like this. Bai Xiaoxi clenched her pink fists and took a deep breath. After half an incense stick, the cry of crows came from the sky. You change back. Ye Junlin shouted in despair. Bai Xiaoxi said with a bitter face, Master, Shu Shu suddenly knows. Ye Junlin. Are you sure the original body is a mouse? It's a pig? This IQ is really intoxicating. Master, don't worry, Shu Shu will definitely change back if you try more in the next few days. Hey, try hard. Ye Junlin felt very tired. He was supposed to start this bad thing, but who could have thought that the result would be so outrageous? Master, do you still want to touch Shu Shu? Bai Xiaoxi took the initiative to move over, her eyes full of expectation, looking at this strange thing with a rat head in front of him. Ye Junlin suddenly felt that even the milk tea in his hand was fragrant. Go away, I want to be quiet. Bai Xiaoxi was very hurt and felt that she seemed to be disliked. It had to run all the way to the lake and carefully look at the reflection on the lake. The tender little hand scratched the rat head and asked in confusion, strange, is this pretty? In the next 2 days, Ye Junlin had to accept Bai Xiaoxi's new image out of helplessness. Just get used to it, this little thing is getting more and more unique the more you look at it. In private, Ye Junlin comforted himself, boom. At this time, the entire eastern region was in shock, and countless practitioners cast shocked eyes at the fleet of warships that covered the sky and the sun, and they were heading to the desolate state in an unstoppable manner. The target was directly aimed at Xiantian's sect. There is no doubt that the large-scale battle that is rare in 10,000 years has officially kicked off at this moment. Chapter 36, Is Hong Qianye going to rebel? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Rumble. Like a warship crossing a river, it shuttled through the void, and the churning clouds and mist were torn to pieces. Looking around, there are many war flags ringing. This group of warships all started out as high-grade treasures, containing many powerful formations, and their entire bodies exuded a brilliant radiance. A fully charged energy cannon was fired, and the nascent soul stage evaporated on the spot, and even the gods almost perished. Every warship was filled with human monks, who were waiting in full formation. They were densely packed and filled with a terrifying and murderous atmosphere. The boundless sense of oppression enveloped the surroundings, and all creatures in the desert state trembled. It's too scary. This is the Yu clan's conquest army. As if silently announcing to the world, anyone who stands in my way will die. Ha ha ha, Xuanhuan sect is going to be finished. No one can bear the anger of the #1 immortal sect in the eastern region. How domineering that man named Ye was back then, how miserable his death will be this time. I guess he will be scared to death. The natives of Huangzhou should understand now that some people are destined not to be offended. There was overwhelming discussion, and all forces in the eastern region were paying close attention. Lingzhou, in a luxurious wing, heartrending screams could be heard, and the entire bed was shaking violently. Within the white curtain, there are two vague human silhouettes, and on the ground around them, lay women who looked like mud. They were naked, as thin as skin and bones, and all the essence in their bodies had been sucked out. Master! The fight is about to start. The fight is about to start outside. Urgent shouting came from outside the house. The attendant excitedly opened the door and looked at the unconscious female monk lying on the ground. He was so frightened that he could not help but shudder and secretly smacked his tongue. Master is so fierce, that the scream stopped abruptly. A sullen voice came from inside the curtain. Bitch, you'd better tell me clearly who started the fight outside. Otherwise, I will twist off your head and throw it into a manure pit to feed the maggots. The attendant's scalp was numb and he quickly said, yes, it's the Yu clan. Just now, the Yu clan's army has invaded Huangzhou. What did you say? The curtain was opened by hands, and Xue Tianyi walked out with a face full of surprise. As the head of the Xue family and the top dandy in Lingzhou and the eastern region, ever since he returned from defeat in Huangzhou, he has secretly harbored a grudge against Ye Junlin, wishing that he would fall into his trap. It's absolutely true, Lord. It spread outside. The human is serious about it this time. It is bound to wipe out the Xuanhuan sect. This is to establish its authority. Hear the words. The corner of Xue Tianyi's mouth rose crazily, and he felt the pleasure of revenge in his heart. The humble natives are crazier than me, they deserve retribution. I know that he will not live long. After saying that, Xue Tian turned around and went back to the bed. Another scream came from the curtains, but it was also mixed with laughter, and the bed shook even more. Why are you still standing there? Get out of here. Yes. The attendant swallowed his saliva, lowered his head and retreated with fists in his hands. Barren state, the sky is dark and gloomy, and the atmosphere is extremely depressing. People everywhere feel tight in their chests and feel like they can't breathe. The humans' warships moved forward unscrupulously, and the majestic pressure enveloped the whole place like a storm. What a strong lineup. How many practitioners have been deployed? Can Xuanhuan sect still be able to stop it this time? Yi Tianjun, run away. The monk in Huangzhou turned pale as he looked up at the unstoppable army, and the blood in his body felt like it was freezing to the bone. Although I had heard about it for a long time, after seeing the strength of human with my own eyes, the illusion in my heart was suddenly shattered, and what was replaced was deep fear and despair. Moving Mountain Sect, Ouyang Feng's pupils shrank, his face was filled with shock, and his hands were trembling slightly. Deep in my heart, there is an unprecedented fear. I would like to ask, would he dare to face such a huge march alone and calmly face it with his sword like last time? Ouyang Feng didn't dare to think about it. Yi Tianjun, I beg you not to be brave this time. If it doesn't work, let's just run away. In everyone's opinion, Ye Junlin is the strongest man in Huangzhou and the spiritual leader of all local monks. If he is wiped out, it will undoubtedly be a huge loss. Even if you run away in embarrassment and live quietly, you can still understand. Boom. 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 The sound of the drums was like thunder from the sky, spreading across millions of miles. The mighty warship team, carrying an indomitable momentum, quickly broke into the territory governed by Xiantian's sect. Dang, dang, dang. The rapid bell echoed throughout the sect. The enemy is here, everyone is on alert. That the disciples who had been waiting for him for a long time suppressed the trembling in their hearts, holding the magic weapon and looking at it with vigilant eyes. It would be a lie to say that you are not panicking. After all, what we are facing now is the strongest immortal sect in the eastern region. The enemy is currently here. Where are the sect master and the others? All the elders said anxiously. At this moment, strong energy fluctuations came from the back mountain, and several figures walked out of the inner space of the sundial. The master of hidden sword Peak sighed. I have been practicing hard for 500 years, and I am almost able to break through the integration, but I still can't find the feeling. It seems that practicing in seclusion has its limitations. Are you satisfied? Fortunately, we have the skills and elixirs given by junior brother Ye. Otherwise, let alone 500 years, even if the lifespan is exhausted, it will be difficult for this generation to break through the nascent soul. The peak master of Jianxiang Peak turned over. Beautiful eye roll. Where is the sect leader? Didn't he come out? That the other peak masters asked curiously. These 7 peak masters, after practicing hard on the sundial for 500 years, have reached the perfection of the god of boom. A whirlpool appeared. Xuanhuan stepped out with his hair dancing wildly, his eyes were filled with lightning, and his whole body was surrounded by terrifying thunder and lightning. His cultivation has reached the early stage of fusion realm. Sect master, you have broken through to the fusion realm. That everyone was surprised. Why? Unexpectedly, Xuanhuan was not happy at all, but looked worried. In the past, the fusion realm was definitely at the level of a master, even in other states in the eastern region. However, now that the Yu clan is approaching fiercely, what does his achievement mean? The battle is coming, and we can only fight to the death. Xuanhuan's eyes were full of faith and he said in a deep voice, aha. Suddenly, the sundial stopped running, and a figure was forcibly teleported out. Is there anyone else? Xuanhuan and the others were a little surprised. In an instant, the terrifying power suddenly enveloped them, and Xuanhuan and the others suddenly felt chills all over their bodies, and their hearts felt hairy. This is. Within sight, Hong Qianye clasped her hands behind her back and stepped out. Her beautiful face was cold, and her whole body had the aura of a stranger approaching suddenly. Between the eyebrows, the scarlet flame mark adds a different kind of unique charm, typical male body and female appearance. At this time, he was walking step by step, and each step was filled with burning flames. As he appeared, the temperature around him increased rapidly, as if he felt like he was in magma. Who do I think it is? It turns out to be junior brother Ye's apprentice. That the master of hidden sword Peak greeted him enthusiastically with a smile on his face. It's really a tiger without a trace. Your master and disciples' talents are abnormal. Tell me, uncle, what state are you in? Tiger. Hong Qianye felt humiliated, and veins popped out on her forehead. She pierced her with a cold gaze and said in a cold voice, how presumptuous. What are you talking about? Puff. That the master of hidden sword Peak seemed to have received a heavy hammer on his chest, blood spurted out of his mouth, and he took a few steps back in a panic. There was an indescribable sense of fear in his heart, as if he was on the verge of death. Senior brother Jian. Everyone hurriedly supported him and looked at Hong Qianye in shock and anger. Junior brother Yi, this apprentice, has such a surly temperament. The Peak master of Jianxiang Peak raised his eyebrows and said dissatisfiedly, Hong Qianye, your uncle Jian was just a slip of the tongue. We are in the same sect after all, why bother hurting him? Fellow disciple. Hong Qianye sneered, after all, I am a giant in the magic way, a true immortal level powerhouse, and one that you ants can cling to. From beginning to end, in Hong Qianye's heart, except for Ye Junlin, the entire Xiantian sect was an insignificant figure. If it weren't for that guy, he wouldn't have stayed here. What's your attitude? I'm going to complain to junior brother Ye. The master of Tianxiang Peak was so angry that he stamped his feet and his chest trembled wildly. Whatever you want, I don't pay attention to him at all. Now that guy can't even protect himself. Hong Qianye crossed her arms with a playful smile on her lips. Such rebellious words made everyone present look at each other, and one could see each other's astonishment in their eyes. Is this still the disciple who usually obeys every word in front of junior brother Ye? Chapter 37. You have a strong taste. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Shuyo's face was full of solemnity. Now he is in the early stage of integration, but in front of Hong Qianye, he feels like he is dwarfed by the big one, coupled with the other party's uncharacteristic words and deeds. Su Yude had an ominous premonition in his heart. Hong Qianye was too lazy to pay attention to these people. She turned her head and looked into the depths of the forbidden area, her eyes flashing with cold light. Instead of leaving this supreme treasure here to waste, it would be better to give it to for use. As he said that, he suddenly stretched out his hand, and the big red fire hand condensed into a shape, and he was about to take away the sundial in the forbidden area. Be bold. What are you doing? This scene caused everyone to stop him in shock and anger. Get out of your seats. A cold and ruthless voice came from the mouth, and the terrifying cultivation aura burst out instantly. You. Several peak masters looked horrified and were forced to lie on the ground. As gods, they didn't even have a chance to get up. As for Shuyo, who was in the early stage of the fusion realm, he could barely maintain a half-kneeling posture. Big beads of sweat fell from his forehead, and his face was full of disbelief. He said with difficulty, "This person has such a strong demonic nature. What is the background of this apprentice that junior brother Ye has accepted?" A rabble. Hong Qianye sneered and was about to take the sundial away by force. Sudden, he was stunned. No matter how hard he tried, the sundial did not move at all, as if it was not affected by external forces. What's going on? Hong Qianye felt annoyed in her heart. If Ye Junlin sees it, he will definitely laugh like a goose. This sundial is a special prize given by the system. No one can take it away except for him to dispose of it at will. Hong Qianye, you are junior brother Ye's disciple and the most outstanding genius of the sect. The sect will definitely cultivate you vigorously. Why do you do such a stupid thing? Su Yoyu gritted his teeth and said. He released terrifying lightning all over his body, but he resisted the pressure and stood up little by little, glaring angrily. Bastard, what are you doing? Do you still need to teach me? Hong Qianye threw away her sleeve robe impatiently and scolded, boom. Su Yoyu's body slipped a few feet away, then he covered his chest and half knelt on the ground, blood dripping from the corners of his mouth, and his eyes were full of horror. What kind of cultivation is this? Just a casual blow, and he had no chance to fight back. At this moment, Su Yoyu's heart was trembling as he looked at the fiery red figure. How terrible. Compared to before entering sundial, the opponent now is simply unfathomable. Metropolitan, everyone shouted anxiously. They didn't expect that junior brother Ye's apprentice would betray him at the critical moment. Humph, even a mere ant dares to point fingers at you. I didn't kill you just now. This is already the greatest kindness of you. Hong Qianye's voice was cold and ruthless, his eyes were full of contempt, and his posture was aloof, as if all living beings were dust in his eyes. This. Several people's scalps were numb, and they had a sense of déjà vu facing a demonic giant, and panic emerged in their hearts. However, at this moment, a murderous shout came from outside the sect. The Ye Junlin army is here. Why don't the culprit Ye Junlin get out and die? Hear the words, their expressions changed. Hong Qianye sneered, it's time to show off with that guy. The whole person disappeared in place. Sect master, we are now. The master of Hidden Sword Peak said bitterly. Follow me quickly and take a look. Su Yoyu couldn't let go and hurriedly set off to follow him. Misty Peak, the silver-haired man held his head with his hands and lay lazily on the bench. A long straw was bent and held in his mouth. As he took a big sip, the milk tea placed on the table flowed along. The straw goes away. Those half-closed eyes showed a contented look. Ye Junlin burped and said with emotion, milk tea is so refreshing. Aha, not far away, a powerful figure flashed across. Seeing Ye Junlin's messed up look, Hong Qianye had a look of disdain on his face. This guy really embarrasses the practitioners. Let me ask, what kind of immortal can such a bad phone be? How can we compete with Dao in the future? Sure enough, it was just pure luck, and he got a great opportunity from a certain ruins. This came up with the coveted magic and heavenly materials and earthly treasures, but now, these will all be his. At this time, sensing the arrival of Hong Qianye, Ye Junlin was too lazy to move, still lying on his side, slurping milk tea in his mouth. Good disciple, I miss you as a master. Miss you, sister. Hong Qianye resisted the urge to run away and said coldly, the outside is almost invading to take your life. I didn't expect you to be so tired. Are you not afraid of death? What? Ye Junlin rolled over and sat up, with a blank expression on his face. We've already called you. Why didn't I know? Hong Qianye frowned, as if she had thought of something, and waved her hand with a dark face to remove the sound insulation cover that shrouded her head. In an instant, the sound of drums outside was shaking, and there was a strong tendency to attack. Ye Junlin was stunned and quickly released his consciousness. When he saw the mighty warships, his expression was very strange. Oh, so a war is about to begin. Seeing this calm guy, Hong Qianye felt a little depressed and said in a stiff tone. You have seen the current situation, but wants you to hand over what you have obtained to Mr. can consider taking action to save your life. What the hell? Ye Junlin raised his eyebrows. Huh, don't pretend to be stupid for me. We are all smart people. Open the skylight and say something. What the hell is that? Before Hong Qianye finished speaking, she caught a glimpse of a strange creature running over. A pair of red and phoenix eyes widened in surprise, and she couldn't help but spit out the fragrance. Seeing that the other party is petite and exquisite, wearing a white suspender skirt, the exposed skin is delicate and smooth, the snow-white arms are like jade lotus roots, and the two thin legs are round and well-proportioned, but on the neck, there is a rat head that is very abrupt. At this time, it ran over in a hurry, holding the plate in both hands, and making an excited sound in its mouth. Master, these are the Orleans chicken wings you told Shu Shu to make. It's spicy, try it. Then, when it saw Hong Qianye present, it ran over in surprise and said, Hey, senior brother Hong, you got out of seclusion so quickly. You, stop. Hong Qianye's scalp was numb and she couldn't help but take 2 steps back. Is this the white-haired rat? Why did it change like this? What a weird look. Could it be? As her thoughts turned, Hong Qianye looked at Ye Junlin suddenly, feeling a chill in her heart. Damn it. I didn't expect you to have such a strong taste. Ye Junlin was stunned. What did this look mean? I am an upright gentleman, you also want to be crooked? Malice, full of malice. Senior brother Hong. Bai Xiaoxi lowered his head in grievance, knowing that he was being disliked. Swish swish. Several figures landed on Piaomiao Peak. Traitor, what are you going to do to your master? Junior brother Yi, you have to be careful. Several people said anxiously. At this time, their eyes were attracted by the weird figure. Their eyes were so frightened that they almost fell out of their heads. They said with shock on their faces, this is. Don't be afraid, everyone, it's me, Shu Shu. Bai Xiaoxi explained. It turns out he is junior brother Ye's second apprentice. This look is really shocking. Su Yuta looked strange. Junior brother Yi is not only extremely talented, but his taste is beyond our reach. Other peak masters sighed with emotion. I know how to play, I really know how to play. Well. The more Ye Junlin listened, the more he felt something was wrong. Why did he feel that you were hurting me? Window_tabula equals window_tabula .push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target_type, mix. Chapter 38 I Can Save Your Life. You are listening at novelfull.audio. By the way, What did you mean just now? Ye Junlin quickly changed the topic, fearing that his reputation would be ruined if he continued. Junior brother Ye, your apprentice is plotting rebellion. He just wanted to take away the sundial, and he even attacked us, everyone said anxiously. My good disciple, are they telling the truth? Ye Junlin's eyes flickered and he looked at Hong Qianye meaningfully, being stared at by the silver-haired young man. Hong Qianye's heart trembled, but she quickly regained her composure. He is no longer what he used to be, why should he be afraid of this person anymore? It's time to stand up and call the shots. Hong Qianye raised her chin lightly and said in a tone that was almost fatal, so what if it is true, what can you do to me? If the army comes and your death is approaching, haven't you understood the truth yet? Situation. Damn it, wolf ambition, junior brother Ye treats you badly. Sun Yan and others were so angry that they were shaking all over and scolded. For each sect, the most taboo thing is for a disciple to betray his master, because this will pose a great threat to the internal stability of the sect. You know nothing, that the surface of red thousand leaves looks like frost. With such a noble status, I am actually being amused by a junior. I personally do everything to rub my shoulders and legs, and the most hateful thing is to wash my feet. Every time I think of it, I feel humiliated. Retribution, this is all retribution. Faced with such a situation, Ye Junlin felt shocked and muttered to himself in despair. Don't blame him. It's my fault. I usually ignore my disciples' feelings. It's all my fault. I really regret it. Ye Junlin's eyes were red, and he beat his chest and feet in grief, looking extremely remorseful. Master. Bai Xiaoxi's nose turned sore. Junior brother Ye. Sun Yan and the others had incredible expressions on their faces. They had never seen the silver-haired young man look like this. Pretend, keep pretending. Bai Xiaoxi looked contemptuous. If it hadn't been for this period of time together and seeing the other person's face clearly, he would have been fooled. Xiaohong, Hong Qianye loves his disciple. I really know that I was wrong, can you forgive me? After all, it's a master-disciple battle, let's start over, okay? Ye Junlin's eyes were filled with hope and he begged cautiously. Hiss! Hong Qianye gasped and had goosebumps all over her body. How could he be such a shameless person? It really refreshed his horizons. Don't even think about it, you make me feel sick, Hong Qianye said in a disgusted tone, Ye Junlin was relieved. His face became calm, completely different from his previous performance. A triumphant smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. No one knew that the system prompt sounded in his mind. Ding! Congratulations to the host for completing the temporary mission and being rewarded with the Immortal Overlord Body Technique. Immortal Overlord Body Art, a supreme skill that combines strength and physical body. If you practice it to the top level, you can create an indestructible hegemonic body, which is so powerful. The reward is not bad. It's worth the on-site labor and management drama. I completed the optional task issued by the system. Ye Junlin said secretly in his heart, just now, he triggered the system's temporary option task. The first option is to face the betrayal of his apprentice Hong Qianye. As the master, he breaks the defense on the spot and denounces with righteous indignation, and he will receive an immortal-level body tempering pill. The second option is to take the initiative to admit your mistakes. To seek truth, you must put all your emotions into it and make people resonate with you. After the success, you will receive a piece of the Immortal Hegemony Body Technique. First of all, the Immortal Body Tempering Pill is very rare, but compared to the more valuable Immortal Hegemonic Body Art, the effect is very small. Because the level of the Immortal Hegemony Body Technique definitely exceeds the immortal level. Even a fool knows how to choose. Therefore, Ye Junlin directly chose the second option and started to show off his acting skills in front of everyone. Once the technique was successfully obtained, Ye Junlin naturally shed his disguise and returned to his previous calm and relaxed appearance. He sat lazily on the recliner, picked up the milk tea with a straw in his mouth, and started sucking it. Hong Qianye frowned, what is this guy doing? They looked at each other in Sun Yan with extremely strange expressions. Everyone, is junior brother Ye under too much pressure and mentally split? The master of hidden sword peak whispered. Shut up. The master of Tianxiang peak said angrily. Xiaoxi. Master, Shu Shu is here. Come here and rub my shoulders. Okay. Bai Xiaoxi ran over and rubbed Ye Junlin's shoulders obediently. Ye Junlin narrowed his eyes comfortably and said calmly, Xuanhuan, you have been in seclusion at Sundial for 200 years. Now that you have come out, do you think you can do it again? Hear the words, Hong Qianye said sternly. Stop talking nonsense, give all the things you got to me, and I can help you. But I don't want to, so you just wait here to die. Knowing that the world of cultivation is inherently cruel, killing people and seizing treasures is very common. Hong Qianye thinks that as a demonic monk, he has done everything he can to be benevolent and righteous in this matter. As long as he can get what he wants, he can take action to repel the enemy army, torture Ye Junlin severely, get rid of all the anger he suffered before, and then part ways from now on. Sect Master, from what I heard, it seems that this person is willing to help and has some conscience. Peak Master whispered, after all, the battle is imminent, and they also know Hong Qianye's strength. If they can get help from the other party, Xuanhuan sect may really be able to overcome the difficulties. This matter depends on what junior brother Yi wants. Su Ningqing coughed a few times, saying that he was lying if he said he wasn't moved. With the skill pills and the sundial that could change the flow of time, they had long believed that Ye Junlin had an opportunity, but because of their relationship with the same sect, they didn't ask any more questions. Now Hong Qianye directly asked for it face to face and set out conditions, which made everyone curious about how Ye Junlin should choose. He. Ye Junlin naturally knew what Hong Qianye meant, however, this is simply impossible because he is bound to a system. The most important thing is that Ye Junlin doesn't take the current crisis seriously at all. Are you so sure that you are stronger than me now? Ye Junlin said with a half-smile. That's right. Hong Qianye said proudly, although you have been suppressing me and wasting my precious training time, I have been practicing at Sundial for 200 years, and I have already surpassed you in terms of cultivation and strength. Then, his tone was full of lessons, and he said. Ye Junlin, you have come to the end, and it was your lack of ambition that ruined you. We monks should work hard and compete with the Tao. We are not the ones like you who do nothing all day long and are idle. So, hand over what you have and let me carry forward the glory. I am more suitable than you to inherit this opportunity. Well. At this time, Ye Junlin looked at the former leader of the demon cult in front of him with a silly look. His system still needs to work hard to practice. Doesn't it taste good when displayed? Hurry up, don't wait any longer. Why don't you come and get it? Hong Qianye took a step forward with his hands behind his back, a fierce look in his eyes. Boom. Terrible coercion instantly enveloped all directions. Senior brother Hong. Bai Xiaoxi trembled with fright, feeling that the man in front of her had become very strange. Junior brother Yi, don't be so brave. Su Dunyan and the others said nervously with cold sweat on their foreheads. There was an explosion sound outside. Xuanhuan sect's mountain protecting formation was smashed to pieces, and the majestic energy flow raged wildly, blowing countless brothers and elders flying backwards, and screams occurred one after another. Immortal tree people. The enemy's offensive is too fierce, we can't resist it at all. The alien creature in the fusion realm screamed. A stream of blood flowed from the corner of its mouth, and there were shocking scars all over its body. Even the 100,000 aborigines in the Luotian secret realm, with thousands of transformed gods and more than 60 people in the fusion realm, are unable to withstand the attack of the Yuhua sect army from outside. This shows how critical the battle situation is. Bai Xiaoxi looked panicked. Master, what should I do? Ye Junlin, are you still unwilling to hand it over? Or maybe you don't believe that I will help you. Hong Qianye said coldly. Boom. At this moment, a terrifying energy cannon penetrated the sky, heading straight towards Piaomiao Peak with a destructive aura. Presumptuous. Hong Qianye suddenly waved her hand and shouted violently. Oh, the terrifying power of the energy cannon was changed by the sudden strong external force, and it suddenly turned a corner and rushed towards the figures in the sky. Rumble, a bright ball of light bloomed, and the screams were heartbreaking. Whoever did this, get out and die. Angry shouts came one after another, and at least dozens of consciousnesses from the fusion realm swept over and converged on Piamiao Peak. Snort. Hong Qianye's figure was like a comet rising in the sky, with her hands behind her back. The aura of her whole body was unfathomable, her eyes were stern, and she said coldly, "I did it, what can you do to me?" Chapter 39, The Power of the Demon Cult Leader. You are listening at novelfull.audio. How dare a prostitute be so arrogant? Let me take care of you. An old voice like a bell sounded. There was a skinny old man wearing the attire of an inner sect elder, with a cruel smile on his face, and he stretched out his palm as fast as a ghost. "You ungrateful ants," Hong Qianye said with anger as veins burst out from her forehead when she heard that she was called a female prostitute. Ah! The screams were extremely loud, the skinny old man's face was full of fear, and terrifying black flames appeared on his body, and his whole body burned up quickly in mid-air. The big boss in the late stage of fusion realm was so effortlessly killed. What? The faces of the other Yuhua sect monks changed drastically. They looked at the tall and red figure, with a flash of extreme shock in their eyes. Hong Qianye, with her hair flying, looked directly at the army of monks in the sky, and said in an unquestionable tone, "Now I give you half a stick of incense, all of you, get out of Huangzhou, or you will die." The cold voice echoed continuously, ringing deep in everyone's hearts. Many elders showed fear on their faces, but they seemed to have thought of something, and in a blink of an eye they were replaced by strong murderous intent, and they all yelled. "How arrogant! How dare you order the #1 immortal sect in the eastern region? Everyone, kill this woman!" Bloodbath. The Xiantian sect. Swish swish swish. 60 or 70 fusion realm elders moved, some using spiritual weapons, some magical talismans, some using their own magical powers. "In that case, I will go on a killing spree." Red Qianye's eyes were cold, her hands were closed, and countless green flames were released all over her body. In an instant, the sound of ghosts crying and wolves howling was everywhere, which was terrifying. Then, dense skulls gathered together, each one the size of a millstone, and roared loudly. "It's mighty and mighty, like soldiers passing through. Ah! My! Get out of the way. Be sure not to get bitten, you will be poisoned. Block! Block quickly." This group of fusion realm elders were beaten and retreated continuously, and then they met one another, and one of the three died. This is not over yet. Hong Qianye feels that it is not enough, and controls a large number of dark green skulls, like locusts ravaging the battlefield crazily. Wherever they went, huge warships were shrouded in flames one after another, and many brothers inside were directly burned to death. Screams, wails, and cries for help filled the sky with extremely noisy sounds. "Don't panic, everyone, work together to drive away the evil fire." A prestigious middle elder shouted angrily, holding a cattail leaf surrounded by spiritual energy in his hand. There were fellow disciples behind him to help him, pouring mana into him continuously. Elder Zhong held the cattail leaf fan and swept it away violently, blowing up an overwhelming terrifying hurricane to fight against this terrifying skull. Suddenly, there was the sound of chanting from the horizon, and the brilliant Buddha's light illuminated the earth, making people have the idea of following Buddhism. Amitabha. On board the simple-looking flying boats, countless meditators put their hands together and chanted the Buddha's name. A monk wearing a cassock with a strong aura solemnly said, "Dear donors, Xiankong Temple is here to help you." "Humph, someone else is going to die again," Hong Qianye said disdainfully. "You devil, don't be so arrogant." The meditators jumped up into the air and used their seals to strike. "A bunch of damn bald asses." The face of the red Qianye leaves looks like frost. Raised they and pinched the secret to cast the spell. Crashing, all the remaining skulls condensed crazily like streams flowing into the sea, and then expanded rapidly. Whoa! A huge skull appeared, letting out a terrifying laugh. Ordinary people are as small as grains of rice in front of it. The terrifying sense of oppression spread like a wave. "Go and play with them." Hong Qianye sneered. Boom! The super-large skull blocks out the sky and the sun, like a moving fortress. The whole body is burning with green flames, and the temperature is unimaginably high. "Grandma Amit, this Buddha is here." "Ah! Howls like killing pigs came and went. What's ridiculous is that the Zen team of Xiankong Temple suffered a huge blow when they first appeared. Tens of thousands of monks were swallowed by huge skulls. This scene is extremely visually impactful. You devil, Buddha will never forgive you. Master Huizhi, who was at the head of the nursing home, had his eyes splitting. Having reached the perfect state of integration, his whole body glowed with immeasurable golden light. He raised his hand and struck the Arhat palm print with blazing Buddha's light, killing that lawless guy with all his strength. It's like the Buddha has come, and I will slaughter you for you to see. Hong Qianye looked sternly and reached out to grab it. The terrifying giant shape of flaming flames blocked the Arhat's palm print, and then turned into several fire dragons with their fangs dancing, approaching Madame Huizhi crazily. Nye Zhan, you are so bold. Upon hearing this, Master Huizhi was so angry that his lungs exploded, and he used all his strength to get rid of these fire dragons. Ah! In less than 2 seconds, the whole person was burned to ashes and disappeared between heaven and earth forever. First seat, that the monk of Xiankong Temple said sadly. Unite all forces and kill this female devil. The elder of the Yuhua sect roared. In an instant, the men and horses of the 2 major forces used all kinds of magic and magical powers, overwhelming the sky and shrouding Hong Qianye. The colorful light is blazing, like a bright sea of stars. The large skull with its whole body burning with flames was blasted into mid-air without any suspense. This. Shuyo's tongue was dry and his whole body was cold. Facing the joint attack of Yuhua Gate and Xiankong Temple, he would definitely be crushed to pieces immediately. With such a majestic energy impact, any combination state will fall. However, Hong Qianye's face was calm. She sneered, raised her hand and used her latest fire magic power. Buzz. Flames as black as ink burned the void, like a giant abyss swallowing up all comers. Vast energy fluctuations swept across, and then slowly dissipated, as if nothing had happened just now. How is that possible? Countless monks had incredible expressions and lost their voices. What a weird fire spell, I've never heard of it. An elder looked horrified. Have you seen that? Even if you add up all of you, you are no match for me. You should all go to hell for me. Hong Qianye laughed wildly, and his murderous nature was undoubtedly revealed. In the blink of an eye, the sky collapsed and the earth became eclipsed. It is unimaginable that the monks from the 2 major forces were retreating steadily, rivers of blood flowed, and millions of corpses were buried. That fiery red invincible figure is deeply imprinted in the minds of countless people. This barren state is trembling with fear. The Red Immortal is invincible. Long live the Red Immortal. As expected of Master Yi Feng, he is the younger brother. What a terrifying strength. In this way, Xiantian sect has no worries. Elder, the younger brother of Xiantian sect, was stunned in shock. All the alien creatures had shocked expressions on their faces. No wonder Lord Immortal Tree leads them to station here. The strength of this woman alone is extremely terrifying. The most terrifying thing is that the other party is only the disciple of Master Yi. If there was some doubt in the hearts of these creatures before, it is completely gone now. All of them are obedient. Junior brother Yi, the talent of this evil disciple like you is so terrible. Our little Xiantian clan temple can't even accommodate a giant Buddha like him. Su Yoyu was so frightened that he broke out in cold sweat and smiled bitterly. Yeah, it really doesn't work. What does he want? Let's try our best to satisfy him. Don't confront him. It's important to save your life. The master of Hidden Sword Peak couldn't bear it when he thought about the fact that he had offended the other party unintentionally before. After staying for a while, I was afraid, although Hong Qianye betrayed the sect, which was a stain, at the same time, he resisted foreign enemies and protected Xiantian sect. The merits and demerits were balanced, so they had nothing to complain about. The most important thing is that even if I am very angry, I can't beat him. What else can be done? At this time, after seeing Hong Qianye's performance, everyone's thoughts changed. Senior brother Hong is so awesome. Come on, senior brother Hong. Bai Xiaoxi waved her pink fist and cheered excitedly with a rat face. Ye Junlin rubbed it. No wonder this guy dares to be so crazy. He dares to kill a fused body like a dog. that he could feel that the cultivation aura exposed by Hong Qianye did not seem to be in the scope of the fusion realm, nor the level of the Mahayana stage, but seemed to be somewhere in between the two. Open the eyes of insight. Ye Junlin's eyes flickered, staring at the powerful figure in the distance. Suddenly, a virtual character panel appeared in front of my eyes. When he saw that the cultivation column showed half-step Mahayana, Ye Junlin suddenly understood. Half-step to Mahayana, no wonder, that after all, Hong Qianye's basic combat power is already strong, and coupled with the advantage of having a realm, he can indeed sweep away the army of practitioners with ease. That's fine. He's here to deal with me, so wouldn't it be logical for me to break through? Ye Junlin said secretly in his heart, the leeks have become fat, so why don't they cut them? Boom! At this time, vast and boundless terrifying auras erupted and were instantly dropped on the battlefield deep in the sky. Whoa, 10 powerful figures stood in the void, their bodies shrouded in bright and blazing light, and their breaths could arouse the aura of heaven and earth within a radius of thousands of miles. Looking from a distance, it looks like 10 golden suns stretching across the sky, shining brightly on the world. Window, _tabula equals window, _tabula, _tabula. Mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300x250, target _type, mix. Chapter 40 Ye Junlin, just wait for death here. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The monks from the Yuhua sect looked up, as if they had grasped a life-saving straw, and shouted excitedly, look! It's the core elders who are here to help us. That the core elders, every position in the sect is as important as Mount Tai. They are the unmovable pillar supporting the Yuhua sect, and they are the existence that countless disciples worship. Now, in order to suppress the Xiantian sect and show the world the heritage of the #1 immortal sect in the eastern region, the 18 core elders actually came in person. Welcome to you all, your lords. Those elders of the fusion realm who were usually well known in the sect were all cautiously bowing their hands, their eyes full of awe. They are both elders, but their positions in the Yuhua sect are very different. After all, these are the handful of people closest to the top of the sect. At this time, when 18 powerful figures appeared, the entire Huangzhou fell into silence. The birds and beasts were trembling with fear, and there was an indescribable fear in their hearts. On Piamiao Peak, they looked horrified and did not dare to leave the passage. Honored, venerable. Know that monks in the Mahayana realm are called venerable in the outside world, and also mean supreme. A Mahayana person can live 50,000. If you put it in other sects, it would be a real old monster. Compared with it in the fusion realm, the difference between the two is like a firefly and a bright moon. Unexpectedly, the Yuhua sect directly sent 18 Mahayana warriors for this battle. What kind of terrifying background is this? No wonder it is known as the strongest immortal sect in the eastern region. Compared with other people whose faces turned pale with fear, Ye Junlin's eyes lit up. Good guy, compared to half-step Mahayana, the real Mahayana realm is more tempting. Faced with Xuanhuan Qianli's practice of giving away experience packs, Ye Junlin silently praised this. A bunch of useless trash. Yuhua sect has been completely disgraced by you. Among them, a short, dwarf-like white-haired old man shouted with an angry look on his face. The loud voice was like thunder from the sky, making the monks below feel dizzy. The army of the most powerful immortal sect in the eastern region was beaten to a pulp by a little girl. If we didn't come to supervise the battle in person, wouldn't you make the whole world laugh at you? That the speaker was a silver-haired old woman wearing a golden robe and holding a snake-headed cane. She stared at Hong Qianye coldly, and when she saw the other person's flawless appearance, she suddenly felt jealous deep in her heart. Damn it, she is actually more beautiful than the old lady I was when I was young. Hong Qianye's eyes turned cold. Where did you pull those onions from? How dare you be so disrespectful to me? What did you say? The silver-haired old woman's voice suddenly rose, and her eyes widened with anger. This is an insult to her. Venerable golden snake, you can't afford to argue with a dying man. There was a man named who was as tall as an iron tower and had a strong sense of oppression. He had a condescending attitude and said calmly, these three are the most prestigious among the core elders, and they are also the strongest in cultivation and strength. You alone want to kill me? What a big joke. Hong Qianye sneered. When he was besieged by immortals all over the sky, he could kill him all the way. Nowadays, such a small scene is not taken seriously at all. Humph, that Ye Junlin is so arrogant that he actually asked his apprentice to deal with us. Isn't he underestimating the Yuhua sect? A core elder said coldly. In that case, let's kill his female disciple first. I would like to see if he feels bad if he hides inside. Another disciple said meaningfully. Roll. I have nothing to do with him. Hearing this, Hong Qianye's face was as cold as ice that would never melt, and she said sternly. There is such a deep relationship between master and disciple. Which one of you will capture her for me? I will disfigure her. Then I will pull out her tongue. The golden snake venerable showed a sinister smile. I'll do it. One of the core elders wanted to take the opportunity to express himself, inciting the surging dharma in his body, and raised his hand to seal the secret. Rumbling, the void seemed to have a millstone turning, and a big hand emitting green light stretched out. The width of the palm stretched thousands of meters, and with a heavy sense of oppression, it shot towards the target. The one holding the hand was a strong man from the early stage of Mahayana. He suppressed Hong Qianye in one go. Aha! Hong Qianye sneered and waved her sleeves towards the sky. Countless purple flames soared away in an instant, containing terrifying power and disintegrating the spirit palm pressing down from above. Crash, the stars are pitter-pattering. The core elder was stunned, and his eyes changed when he looked at Hong Qianye. How could it be shattered so easily? Isn't this level of cultivation not in the combined state? Elder Wu, let me help you. Another fellow fighter used Xuanhuan fist. In an instant, the dense golden fist prince rushed away like a rushing torrent. It's just you. Hong Qianye blasted his palm with a bang. The fireworks palm prince covered the sky and the sun, and the temperature melted the surface. Rumble, both sides produced huge energy fluctuations. The golden fist seal gradually disappeared, and this scene shocked everyone. That female devil actually blocked the Lord's attack. On the battlefield, there were screams of surprise. Do you feel it? This is half a step of Mahayana. The dwarf old man narrowed his eyes. Half step of the Mahayana, blocking the Mahayana realm. I didn't expect that in this remote and desolate place, there is such a rare talent in the world. The burly man said solemnly. Damn it, this girl can't be left alive. Come on. Kill her. Golden Snake Venerable screamed. The other core elders knew that they would lose face if they dragged her down, so they immediately moved their hands to kill Hong Qianye. The boundless energy flow was so powerful that the void along the way was almost shattered. The scene was horrifying. I'll see how powerful you are. Hong Qianye stepped on the sky, his fiery red robe fluttered, and with his hands, dozens of fire dragons whistled and roared. When the two sides fought, the sun and the moon lost their light, and the mountains and rivers shook. Big monument palm. Broken sky finger. Star-picking hand. Subduing dragon fighting technique. Soul-destroying seal. Various magical skills were at the disposal of the core elders. They were murderous and determined to kill the enemy in front of them. Bang bang bang. Dozens of fire dragons crossed each other, and the dragon roars were loud and exciting, but they were destroyed one by these core elders. There were 6 Mahayana in the early stage and 6 Mahayana in the middle stage. Hong Qianye looked around with a cold look at the gradually approaching figures. He frantically mobilized the magic in his body. With a swish, the red flames surrounding his body turned into inky black flames. The black flames, with wisps of black air, looked extremely weird. This is the devil flame of extinction, which has the power of devouring. Kill. Staring at this strange black fire, everyone suppressed their discomfort and used their killing moves in unison. Humph. Hong Qianye spread his arms, his long black hair fluttered, and the annihilation flames around him suddenly boiled, like a black hole swallowing the magic from all around. Buzz buzz buzz, the energy fluctuations were extremely violent, making everyone tremble with fear. What? The 15 core elders who were watching all changed their faces. The burly man watching the battle was shocked. You can resist the attacks of 15 venerables by yourself. Is this something that a half-step Mahayana can do? I have never seen such talent before. The dwarf old man said solemnly. Are you all blind? This is definitely an evil method. We must get rid of this female devil as soon as possible. Otherwise, there will be endless troubles. Golden Snake Venerable shouted angrily, holding the snake-headed cane and pulling the mysterious talisman array, and then pointed it at Hong Qianye. With a bang, a thick snake-shaped light column shattered the void and impacted the strange black flame. Do it, that the other two couldn't hold back and used their own methods. With the addition of these three, the pressure suddenly increased 1,000 times. Damn! Hong Qianye gritted his teeth, and beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. Although the annihilation demon flame has the power of devouring, at this level of consumption, the power in his body will soon reach the bottom. At that time, he will be unable to use magic, and his own fighting power will fall to the bottom. That will be troublesome. Damn it, it's all Ye Junlin's fault for not handing over the secret treasure to me earlier. Hong Qianye cursed inwardly. Who knew that Yuhua sect would go to such great lengths to send 18 Mahayana realm masters just to deal with a small sect in the middle of nowhere? They really killed a chicken with an ox. Break it! That the loud shout resounded through the sky like thunder. The burly man was covered in white light, which gathered on his fist and then exploded. The sonic boom was piercing, and the fist pierced through the sky, the supreme level magical power, the tyrant fist. Bang! With the explosion of a large ball of light, a fiery red afterimage flew backwards from the sky and fell heavily on Piamio Peak. Boom! The mushroom cloud-like smoke and dust rose, and the whole mountain was shaking violently. Cough cough cough. Hong Qianye was covered in dust, with blood at the corner of his mouth, and he struggled to stand up in a mess. Brother Hong. Bai Xiaoxi said worriedly. Ye Junlin held the Orlan's grilled wings in his hand, shook his head and sighed. My good disciple, didn't you say you could beat them back? Why are you being beaten like a dog now? I am so disappointed in you. Hearing this, feeling the mockery in the other party's words, Hong Qianye's forehead was bulging with veins, his cheeks were burning, and he gritted his teeth and said. You still dare to say sarcastic words? At least I can get away with it, but you can just wait to die here. As he said this, he made up his mind and wanted to use his secret method to escape. After all, the target of Yuaman is this guy. As for this group of insignificant ants, let them be buried with this shameless guy. Warm tips: if you find that clicking the next page will force you to jump to other websites, please use the chapter error or contact us at the bottom to inform us. We will handle it as soon as possible. Thank you for your understanding.